Next up is Michael Clarke. He's a research associate, a market for VDC Research. He works within the VDC Research auto ID and data capture practice, supporting syndicated research and custom engagements. It covers thermal printer solutions, automation technologies. He's written numerous reports around these topics. He holds a BA in economics from Colgate University, and he brings experience in market research, financial services, and operations. Please welcome Michael Clarke.
Awesome. Thank you for the introduction, Sheldon. I really appreciate the opportunity to speak today at CyberCon. I want to speak today about automation amidst coronavirus, as well as investment opportunities for setting up supply chain opportunities in the future. Okay, first I want to give a little bit of background or brief background on VDC, who we are and what we do. VDC is a technology research firm that specializes in the coverage of core technologies such as auto identification and data capture, IoT and embedded technology, enterprise mobility and connected devices, as well as industrial automation and sensor solutions. We offer numerous syndicated reports on these topics, as well as offering quarterly shipment data on leading vendors within these spaces, and also incorporate custom consulting engagement. So, what is the current retail landscape like, and what are the pressures that retailers face today? Brick and mortar retail stores have faced increasing challenges from e-commerce and omnichannel fulfillment frameworks, as the likes of Amazon and Walmart and Target have expanded their share into these delivery networks, offering increased shipping requirements towards 2-day and even same-day shipping requirements to meet customer convenience and demand for parcel deliveries. As a result, e-commerce sales have reached nearly 11% in the US for 2019, according to the US Census data, well, which suggests that retailers need to incorporate stronger delivery networks and to meet this increasing e-commerce demand. The rise of omni-channel retail fulfillment strategies such as buy online and pick up in store, as well as curbside pickup and direct home delivery models have strengthened the critical importance surrounding the demand for accurate inventory across both store and warehouse locations, as well as more accurate predictive demand forecasting models and understanding consumer purchasing behavior, as well as product preferences, and making or generating consumer engagement tasks and customer interactions. In going forward and to address the current retail landscape, retailers must consider address key challenges within scalability, inventory accuracy, as well as invoking meaningful and customer engagement that leads to both brand loyalty, drives product sales, and ultimately, in turn, leads to greater retailer profitability. Taking a step back and looking at the reason why retailers really need to, automate their solutions in order to keep up with e-commerce and omni-channel fulfillment strategies within the four walls, both within the four walls and in the warehouse. These workflows are largely manual in nature. In-store shelf checking and price auditing and making sure that product available and out-of-stock analysis are in the right places and labeled correctly can take store associates anywhere from 4 to 5 hours per day on average, where the largest retail stores are 50 to 100 aisles. So this can be both time consuming and physically demanding for store associates, and can take away from higher value added customer engagement tasks that can drive product sales. Within the warehouse, workflows are still largely manual in nature, where only about 10 to 15% of warehouses are automated and incorporating robotics and AI technology. And this leads to warehouse associates traveling anywhere from 5 to 7 miles on average per day or within the warehouse facility, which takes away from the efficiency and fulfillment accuracy of the warehouse fulfillment. So therefore, in order to address these key challenges of productivity and increasing operational workflows, end users must strongly consider automation through the integration of both robotics and artificial intelligence in order to better automate monotonous and time-consuming tasks, as well as to increase worker productivity and free up store associates for higher value and customer engaging tasks. So what does robotics and physical automation look like? While industrial line robots have been integrated into warehouse workflows for some decades now, particularly in automotive and manufacturing capacities, within the last decades, the improvement of safety features through vision-guided and AI-powered robotics has enabled these devices to become more collaborative in nature and allow them to work in tandem with warehouse and retail associates, both in the production line and within the retail store. VDC classifies these robotics into two categories, one being cobot or collaborative robot arms, as well as autonomous mobile robots, or AMRs for short. Collaborative robot arms are equipped with 3 to 7 degrees of axis, mimicking the human hand and dexterity with a gripper solution that enables order sorting and batch picking applications on the production and assembly lines, where human associates can pick about 200 to 300 SKUs per hour. These collaborative robot arms can increase this productivity by picking anywhere from 400 to 800 picks per hour, which significantly improves the amount of volumes that warehouses can meet the demand with. And on the AMR side, these are equipped with laser sensing technology and computer guided systems where they're able to detect obstacles in their path and avoid them to make sure that they're safe and transporting pallets in a safe manner, and reducing the amount of transport that warehouse associates are conducting each day, as well as augmenting their order sorting and batch picking applications as well. On the AMR side, retailers have also seen stronger demand for deployments in store to augment applications such as inventory management and planogram compliance for within the retail stores, as they're equipped with scanning technologies that enables for price auditing and labeling auditing to make sure that they're labeled correctly and in the right spots and easily navigatable for customers to find products in store. So in this sense, the robotics integration with both within the four walls and in the warehouse can increase worker productivity as well as optimize labor requirements by automating repetitive and time-consuming tasks that can free up associates for higher value and customer engagement tasks and provide a generally better working environment for these associates, as well as creating an easier scalable solution to better address growing e-commerce and omni-channel fulfillment strategies. But with these benefits of automation, there are also key challenges that end users must understand before investing into robotics technology. VDC's survey of 100 retailers indicate that cost of ownership is the strongest barrier to entry into robotics technology, where about 46% of respondents indicated that total cost of ownership has hindered them from investing or automating their workflows. And this is not unfounded, as these devices can cost anywhere from $25,000 to $75,000 per unit owning these outright. Which is not a small investment, especially for some of those smaller retailers. And as looking towards the cost and the maintenance of these devices, I implore end users and retailers to critically evaluate the vendors that are within their spaces, particularly those who are offering robotics as a service models that can help mitigate these pricing models and offer greater automation flexibility from cyclical demand perspective, where you can rent these robots outright versus owning them and add to your robotics portfolio as your demand and volume requirements increase. So moving on to the cognitive automation side through artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence essentially mimics the human brain, where these regression analysis and predictive models leverage these deep learning and neural networks to increase the predictive accuracy, as well as to using these historical data points such as point of sale transactions, online clicks, and other input factors such as demographic and income data, and even as sorts of as weather data, to harness the power of these machine learning networks in order to create better predictive accuracy for retail operational workflows. In this sense, the full integration of AI into software architecture can harness the power of previously unutilized data that can sit in within the cloud and not make actionable insights for these retailers today. In this sense, where there are a few retailers really struggle with out of stock analysis and product availability, as well as even product waste. Vendors such as DataRobot have enabled retailers to reduce product waste from where Fortune 500 companies can lose about $250 to $500 million in unsold inventory per year through the strengthening of predictive models through AI that can be reduced to anywhere from $30 to $50 million per year in product waste, which is a significant impact towards retailer bottom lines, as well as even top line growth through better understanding product introductions, as well as avoiding cannibalization of new store openings and creating more accurate decision makings that will ultimately drive retailer profitability. With those benefits of artificial intelligence and enhancing, accurate product replenishment, as well as inventory across stores, as well as solving, complex retail operational issues, AI also comes with challenges that retailers also must understand. Retailers have, struggled with the quality of their data, as well as the transparency of sharing data across trade partners. Additionally, data must be transparent across all trade partners in order for AI accuracy to be optimal. And therefore, the integration of AI also depends on the backwards compatibility and as well as the scalability going forward. AI software must be easily integratable with retailer platforms, such as the Shopkeeps and Shopify of the world, and be able to be backwards compatible with, WMS systems that have been deployed 10 to 15 years ago, and be able to incorporate updates so that they're scalable for the future of supply chain optimization going forward. So therefore, AI and cognitive automation both has its benefits and challenges, but retailers must strongly consider how these cognitive automations can increase their supply chain efficiency going forward and better increase their operational efficiency, and making sure that they're creating the right solutions for their businesses. So furthermore, I want to close with retail at the time of the coronavirus pandemic and VDC's view. Through the coronavirus shutdown, consumers have increasingly been shifting towards online shopping and digital commerce, where it's become more commonly accepted and pretty much the only channel with which products are getting to customers. Retailers are becoming creative with curbside pickup and as a way to operate in the time of coronavirus, as Amazon, Target, and Walmart have all recorded record sales in their e-commerce backgrounds. I think this strongly highlights how retailers with strong supply chains and delivery networks, especially in-house, and have built them outright through automation solutions, have a competitive advantage to survive these challenging times, where they're able to get products to customers no matter what the fulfillment channel is, whether it's brick and mortar or e-commerce. And in the sense, they're hiring more workers in order to meet the growing demand of these product services and with different fulfillment channels. Moreover, VDC expects there to be an increase in automation and investments, especially supporting e-commerce growing orders, while the near-term and short-term certainty is still developing in the macroeconomic impact of the coronavirus is still unfolding. The shift towards online shopping is increasingly being entrenched in the consumer psyche, where they are continuing to buy online, where brick and mortar stores will continue to be challenged even after stay-at-home advisories will be lifted. So in the near term, solution providers you see order activities from retail customers be smaller than usual, but the diligent investment in automation solution is poised to prove beneficial and competitive advantages for retailers who are willing to invest into automation solutions and robotic and AI, and will continue to benefit those going forward as they capture demand amongst e-commerce and omni-channel fulfillment channels. Thank you for your time today, and I want to open the floor to any questions.
Yes, thank you, Michael. Phil, you want to? I saw we had a few questions come in on the.
Yep, we have a few questions. I also wanted to mention the deck that Michael just ran through is available in the GoToWebinar console as a handout, vdc_deck.pdf. So if you'd like to grab that so you can take a look at it afterwards, I highly recommend. So yeah, we got a few questions. Two from Penny De Luna. I'll shoot it at you, Michael, if you don't mind. Is that all right?
Yeah, no problem.
All right. So Penny says, what is the typical implementation/deployment time for a robotics project, including the retrofits required?
Yes, so that largely depends on the warehouse and size of the facility, in terms of also the robotics being deployed. In our conversations with solution providers and vendors, those have highlighted anywhere from 6 months to 24 months in those project implementation. I believe the largest factor in those is both the size of the warehouse as well as the cost implementation perspective, as well as the amount of customization that is required for the application that are being deployed.
Very good. All right, we got a few more. What does the typical maintenance activities and costs look like after having robotic automation?
Mm-hmm. So the maintenance requirement is about 10 to 15% of the purchasing price of the robotic solution, which is vendors and solution providers have highlighted in our conversations. In terms of the maintenance requirements, the general wear and tear, those are primarily handled through the technicians at the robotics vendors themselves, or through the solution provider channel companies that are supplying the robotics solutions. But typically those end users can expect to undergo about 10 to 15% of the purchasing price and maintenance costs per year.
Okay. And I got another one from Kevin Bariso. Question from Michael. FedEx has mentioned the need to automate due to a gap in available workforce. What other reasons beyond the traditional reasons of safety and cost savings are you seeing?
Sorry, can you repeat the question? I heard the.
Sure. Yeah, FedEx has mentioned the need to automate due to a gap in available workforce. What other reasons beyond the traditional reasons of safety and cost savings are you seeing?
Okay, yes. So, I mean, the labor optimization, the labor requirement optimization is definitely a key driving factor of automating. I think the increase of worker productivity is the biggest driver, however, in terms of, for example, FedEx being maybe overwhelmed with the amount of parcel delivery services that are happening during the coronavirus pandemic and the increased order volumes. In this sense, human productivity are only as fast as our hands can be, but the robotics programs can increase the level of productivity within those fulfillment channels, particularly on the production line and through the warehouse transportation. Thank you for the opportunity. I really appreciate it.